Just in case I am knocked off and I'm not able to introduce the next person, please go ahead, ma'am.
Okay, so the floor is mine.
Yes, please.
Okay, okay, thank you so much. Permit me, if I may, to share my screen. I hope this will work. Um, Sorry, give me just a minute. Okay, is my screen visible?
Yes, it is. Yes.
Okay, okay. So thank you very much once again for the opportunity. Um, I'd like to just start, briefly with a quick introduction and an anecdote. And permit me to read at times, and then other times I'll just speak to it. But I'd just like us to imagine a world where the news you consume is carefully curated to align with your existing beliefs. You're constantly bombarded with stories that confirm your biases, while dissenting voices are silenced. This is the reality for many people in the age of digital media, where algorithms and personalized feeds create echo chambers that limit our exposure to diverse perspectives. This is where the power of agenda setting becomes particularly potent. Now, a recent study found that 60% of people get the, sorry, oops. 60% of people get their news primarily from social media platforms. This reliance on social media with its algorithm designed to maximize engagement can significantly influence what we see and how we interpret the world around us. So here I have this, let me say this picture. And it's an image that represents the power of the media to shape public opinion. And it's integrating global connectivity, social media influence, and agenda setting dynamics. You have different hashtags, that symbolize different viral movements. You have the Me Too, hash Me Too movement, the hash EndSARS movement, and there have been so many others, which illustrate that digital platforms amplify public engagement. So the inclusion of the bar graph in the background, if we can see that, it just suddenly ties in statistical spikes, which emphasizes the media's role in directing societal focus. Now, for the topic for today, I'd like the presentation I want to quickly just make will examine agenda setting in contemporary context with a focus today as digital platforms, disruption and expansion of agenda setting theory, because that's really what we're kind of seeing these days. And so a classical concept of agenda setting, we have, the origins from Walter Lippmann to Bernard Cohen, and then to our own very dear McCombs and Shaw. And when the agenda setting started, we know that from conception, it was relying on it basically focused on the media and how it forms perceptions of the world. And then we have Bernard Cohen in 1963 refining this perspective or this perception by stating that the media influences what people think about, not only what they think. And then we have Maxwell McCombs and Donald Shaw, who empirically tested this idea during the 1968 US presidential election. This is just a historical background, but we know that agenda setting is rooted in like two levels. You have the first level, which highlights the salience of objects in how the media presents issues. And then a second level where it focuses on the salience of attributes or characteristics of issues. This aligns with the framing theory, which emphasizes how the media shapes topics and interprets them through selection and emphasis. Then the concept of agenda setting evolved. You know, there's so much research that has gone into it over the years, and it has evolved significantly because it examines how the media elevates issue importance, influencing perceptions, specific attributes, and shaping public opinion, especially through framing. So the rise of digital and social media has added a complexity to this. And you have algorithms that are amplifying or suppressing messages, thus impacting public discourse. So to understand this theory's development and its applications is very key to grasping the intricate relationship between the media, public opinion, and social behavior. Now, the impact of digital platforms on agenda setting can be seen in different ways. And these are just a few. This is not an exhaustive list. First and foremost, it can be seen through the fragmentation of media landscapes. The fragmentation, forgive me, I'm using. It can be seen through the fragmentation of media landscapes, where you have personalized news feeds, you have social media algorithms, diverse information sources. All of these are challenging the idea of a singular dominant agenda. Then you also have the emergence of individual content creators and key influences of public opinion, where the lines between traditional media and citizen journalism have been blurred. This complicates the identification of who the real key. You also have echo chambers that have been created with algorithms prioritizing engagement over accuracy. Now, this just goes to show that echo chambers reinforce existing beliefs, what people believe in. It also has the tendency to spread misinformation, eroding trust and reliable sources. Lastly, you have personal feeds, where diverse perspectives contribute to political polarization, social division, and concerns over biased or manipulated information control. So these are the different ways that I'd like to share. Like I said, it's not exhaustive, of how digital platforms have affected or influenced or impacted agenda setting. And then also looking at the influence of AI on agenda algorithms have shifted the gatekeeping power from the traditional media to users and AI. This creates personalized agendas and even fragmented public spheres. There are viral trends and hashtags like #MeToo, #EndSARS, and many others that rapidly set global agendas. These oftentimes prioritize sensational or even polarizing content. By curating feeds, amplifying biases, spreading misinformation, creating echo chambers, like I've said, and it also holds great potential for combating fake news. So there are different case studies available. I just want to highlight a few. #MeToo showed how social media can empower marginalized voices by bypassing traditional media to set a global agenda on gender-based violence. COVID-19 or the COVID-19 saga is also another case study which highlighted the dangers of algorithm amplification of misinformation. This, as you know, we saw, led to public health challenges. Then our Nigerian popular hash NSARS demonstrated the power of digital platforms to mobilize public opinion and force government action. Then looking at climate change, which is in everybody's face, in everybody's, personal sphere these days, it illustrates how the pursuit of engagement can overshadow critical issues, thereby hindering long-term agenda setting. Now, there are challenges and even future directions that kind of come in with agenda setting. Traditional media's dominance, because this has been weakened. Social media and influencers and algorithms now significantly shape what we see and what we discuss. We also have things like focus on engagement. Platforms are prioritizing content that generates clicks and likes, often more important than less engaging news. So what people are actually supposed to be focusing on has kind of been altered. So, what you see now is determined by what algorithms have been set. And I'll get to the rest in a bit. So another challenge is AI has become a major meta gatekeeper. AI algorithms control what we see online, and with great potentials for creating filter bubbles and amplifying certain viewpoints. There's also a need for adaptation. Traditional media setting theory needs to be updated to account for the complexities of the digital age. This includes the influence of AI and the changing dynamics of media consumption. So I'd like to term this section as like a call to action. And when I was getting ready for this, I'd like to really say this before I really put in my call to action. I came across this statement in a text that Maxwell McCombs had written, and it said, setting the agenda is an awesome responsibility. And I think that is so true. To have the power to set the agenda is a responsibility that we shouldn't take lightly. And so everybody now has a voice on social media, and it's not just the news outlets that are setting this agenda. Agenda setting has been transformed by the interplay of algorithmic, okay, this is one of those words, algorithmic curation, virality, and decentralized gatekeeping in the digital era. Sorry about that. And I'd like to say a little bit about this point before I move on from that, because we have algorithms that act as invisible gatekeepers. They prioritize content based on how we engage social media and the internet. So our engagement metrics and user behavior act as invisible, help to add to these algorithms and help them become invisible gatekeepers, oftentimes amplifying sensational or polarizing issues. We also have virality, which propels content to prominence through high engagement, frequently bypassing the traditional gatekeepers that we are used to. And then lastly, decentralized gatekeeping, which shifts agenda setting power to individuals, influencers, and communities. So, together, these three forces create a fragmented, engagement-driven, and often short-lived public agendas, which raises critical questions about the biases of AI systems, the erosion of traditional media control, and the implications for public discourse and democracy. So we need to consider how AI is now a super powerful gatekeeper, deciding what we see online. We need to figure out how these algorithms actually work, so we can understand how they're shaping our opinions. Researchers need to adapt McComb's theory to explore these evolving dynamics. We need to emphasize algorithmic transparency, the interplay between human and AI decision-making, and the power asymmetry between tech platforms and traditional media. So for now, I'll stop here. I think I've said quite a lot, but I'd like to thank you for the opportunity to share.
Thank you, Dr. Bulus. Thank you for sharing with us. Like I said earlier, this is something that we've been doing, but this is a special and different kind of seminar. And you have started this in a nice way. We are happy to have listened to you. I'm sure there'll be reactions. But before we go to that, I just wanted to go a little bit back to the welcome message to everyone. This said earlier, my name is Ica George. I'm the ICA Chair, Nigeria chapter. And this is a quarterly seminar of the Nigeria chapter of the ICA. This is done in collaboration with Bingham University in Nasarawa State, Nigeria. Unfortunately, the Dean of the Faculty of Communication, who is the person who is representing the university here, has been trying to join us for, please let me. He has been trying to join us for a while now. The internet has been knocking him off. That's why I didn't ask him to say anything. So I want to take this time now to also recognize the presence of the immediate past president of the ICA, Professor Noshir Contractor, and ask him to also say a few things because I know he's going to leave before this meeting ends, make his remarks. Hopefully the Dean of Faculty of Communication in Bingham University is able to join in the next 5 minutes as well, so that he can. Sorry about the interruption. Professor Noshir, please, we'd like to hear some a goodwill message or brief remark from you before we continue with the presentation.
Sure. Welcome to everyone. My name is Noshir Contractor. I was past president of ICA, International Communication Association, and had the honor and privilege to be in Port Harcourt in Nigeria for the inauguration of the ICA Nigeria chapter back in 2023, I believe it was. And so I'm very happy to see the congratulations to the ICA Nigeria chapter for being so vibrant, for being so active, for being able to have this quarterly seminar series, besides, of course, also hosting the ICA regional hubs. I am also especially pleased to be a part of listening into this particular session, which honors one of the biggest intellectual scholars in the field of communication who we lost earlier this year. And I'm also very happy that you put together this seminar that is clearly very popular. I'm looking at the attendance, 75 participants. That's incredible. And you also, it's a testament to the organizing scheme of ICA Nigeria chapter. It is Max McCombs and Shaw, and also the excellent speakers that you have lined up for today's session. We've already heard from one of you, and I know that I've been in touch with the others for many years, and I'm really looking forward to listening to what they have to say. I had the privilege to actually visit with Lê Guo in Fudan just about a month ago, I think. I follow this kind of scholarship very closely, and congratulations again to all of you. I'll go back on video mute and listen and learn from all of you. And by the way, also happy holidays and happy New Year in 2025.